Friends, today we are going to continue our mitosis. Yesterday we read about mitosis and we have discussed two phases, that is prophase and metaphase. And today we have to read more two phases, that is anaphase and telophase. What happened in mitosis during anaphase and during telophase. So these are the two phases which are left behind yesterday, and now we are going to discuss these two phases by today. So in this class, simply we will discuss the third phase of mitosis, that is anaphase, and the fourth phase of mitosis, that is telophase, along with their figurical diagrams. So let's first discuss the third phase which we have left behind by yesterday, that is anaphase, as we are discussing the topic mitosis and its phases for class 11th zoology. And hence here, when the anaphase starts, the chromosomes which are so arranged at the metaphase plate. Yesterday I have already told you that in metaphase the chromosomes arrange in the center, thus forming a metaphase plate. But here in anaphase, those chromosomes which are actually arranged in the metaphase plate in the center, they start splitting simultaneously. They divide, they split, they break, and two daughter chromatids, now known as future chromosomes of the future nuclei, two daughter chromatids are now formed. And these two daughter chromatids, they are actually future chromosomes of future nuclei. That means the daughter nucleus so formed from the parental nucleus by mitosis, these two daughter chromatids, they are now the chromosomes for these daughter nuclei or the daughter cells. Now these daughter chromatids, they start migrating, they start moving towards the opposite poles, that is north pole and south pole of the cell. In anaphase, we are reading anaphase. And as such, each chromosome, each chromatid, each future daughter nuclei of or daughter chromosomes, they move away from central plate. They move towards the poles of the cell. The centromere of each chromosome is towards the pole. I will show you after some time that how the centromere that lies towards the pole and how the chromosomes they tend towards the center. They are leaving behind. They show these their arms. They lead towards the center of the cell. I will show you after a small time. And now let us discuss the final phase, that is telophase. So simply you have to remember in anaphase that the chromosomes which are arranged in the metaphase plate in metaphase, they split and move towards the opposite poles of the cell, that is north pole and south pole, thus forming the daughter chromosomes. And these daughter chromosomes are actually the daughter chromosomes for the daughter nuclei. And when these chromatids they move towards the opposite poles, the chromatids actually they face towards the pole side, and the chromosome arms they hang towards the center. These are the developments which take place in anaphase. And here now we will discuss the last phase of mitosis, that is telophase. What happened in telophase? So students, you have already seen that at the beginning of final stage of mitosis, that is telophase, the chromosomes that reach to their respective poles, as you have seen in anaphase, that the daughter chromatids they move towards the poles. Now in this telophase, these chromosomes which actually have reached to the poles, they start decondensing. That means what condensation occurs in prophase or in metaphase, this condensation now loses, that condensation is now lost and the chromosomes now tend to decondense. That means they are now losing their identity, they are losing now their individuality, they are showing decondensation, they are moving away. And so the individual chromes cannot and no more be seen. The individual chromes are no more seen in telophase. They lose their condensation, they are decondensed, they lose their individuality, and chromatin material tends to collect in a mass in two poles. Finally, when the cell is in telophase stage of mitosis, the chromatin material so formed at the poles that condense, that gets collected in a mass at the pole side. So what are the key developments, what are the key features which occur in telophase? They are: number one, the chromosome clusters at opposite spindle poles and their identity is lost in discrete elements. Firstly, the condensation of chromosomes is lost, their individuality is lost. And secondly, the nuclear envelope which have been lost during prophase, now that nuclear envelope again gets assembled around the chromosome cluster near the poles. So the nuclear envelope again gets surrounded, gets enveloped around the chromosome cluster at the poles. And finally, nucleolus, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum, etc., they reform, they are formed again. So these are the final developments which take in telophase, and finally there occurs a deep constriction and the cell gets divided into two cells which are known as daughter cells with equal number of chromosomes, nucleus and other bodies. So I want to show you by pictographical structures, by figurical dimensions. These are here. Yesterday we have read about prophase. So this was prophase. I have already told you what happened in prophase, and now this was metaphase, and this was the metaphase plate of chromosomes. And today in anaphase, this phase metaphase plate, they get split, and these chromosomes, they tend and they move towards the poles, one towards north pole, one towards south pole. And I have told you anaphase that the centromere that face towards the pole, so this is the centromere, this is facing the north pole, this is the next centromere, this is facing south pole, and these are the arms of chromosomes which are hanging, which are leading, which are pointing toward the center, and they are interconnected by spindle fibers. And this constriction groove that increases, which makes the cell to get divided, prepares the cell for the division. And finally, in telophase, this constriction groove, it deepens more, and these chromosomes, they get decondensed, that is, they lose their individuality, and finally this nuclear envelope gets assembled again around this chromatin material, and Golgi bodies and nucleolus, they are reformed. And finally this cell, this constriction groove, this cuts this cell into two, and finally two dot cells are formed by mitosis with equal number of chromosomes as that of in the parent cell. So dear students, here we conclude our class of mitosis, which got completed in 4 stages, that is prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Any of these phases can be asked to you in the examination. Rather, you may be asked what is mitosis. Rather, you may be asked that show us, demonstrate us by figures, by diagrams, the total cycle, the total phases, that is prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase, that occur during mitosis. So theoretically and diagrammatically, I have shown you all what happens in mitosis and how finally two nucleus daughter cells are formed. So this was mitosis and its phases, an important question for class 11th. Hope students that you would have understood very well this question. If any grievance is there, any difficulty is there, please do ask me and contact me on my number 9906694402. I am repeating my number 9906694402. Thank you. Have a good day.